Hey guys, so today I'm gonna show you another one of my prototype, which is a claw machine. So first of all, I'm gonna show you how it works, and then I'm gonna try to break it down on how I created this. So you can control the camera movement by pressing on your keyboard the letter A or D to move around the camera so that you get a better view of where the claw position is at. So on the bottom right here, there's actually an on-screen button. If I press play, I can move around the claw either using the arrow keys or the buttons down here. So let's try one round. Let's see if everything goes well. Let's try it slightly here. Let's see on the first round if we're gonna get anything at all. Nope. So what's interesting to me about this project is it's physics based. So there's no cheating on how I'm picking it up. It's just how the claw is positioned to try to get it to grab properly. Okay, I think I'm gonna get this one right here. There you go. We got one. So it doesn't fall. Great. Perfect. Okay, now let's go to how does it work. So let me first show you how does it look in Blender. So I modeled this using Blender. I've created several parts out of it, but mainly it's the claw that we need to focus on. So the claw is designed separately like this. It's 3 different claw. So I created the origin there so that I can simply rotate it inside the blueprint later on. This part right here can go front and back. This one can go side to side, while this one goes up and down. So they are all parented in a way that makes it move seamlessly. Oh, and also the joystick. The joystick can also... Oh, that's the wrong origin. That's okay. I'll show you in a while. Okay. So this is it. This is the claw machine. So let's see for the blueprints. Here it is. This is a single blueprint. So I have all of this connected together to make it work. For example, this holder here, it's actually a child of this rope, while this rope is actually a child of this top holder up here. And this part right here is supposed to move together with the top holder. So let's see the graph here. Okay, I'm also going to share with you some new functions that for me personally I just found out, which is actually called set timer by function name. So in this particular group right here, it's just on begin play. I've created the widget, and then I want to actually start a countdown timer. So I've never created a countdown before, so it's my first time doing it. So it's actually easier if using this, so that we can make sure that it loops every single time to minus the value for the countdown. Also, we can call this back anytime we want. So yeah, there you go, set timer by function name. Okay, so from here, once the timer reaches 0, what it does is it's gonna pause the timer here. So what's going on at the same time while the countdown is counting down I have a tick function here where it's actually doing the logic for the movement of the claw. So I created a few boolean values, if it's left or is it right, is it forward or is it backward, and that's just to control the value of the holders here and here. So there's a bit of interpolation going on with the positioning as well as the joystick interaction. So this goes on at the same time as well, so it's gonna rotate 30 degrees either way. And then once the timer is completed here, it's going to call this custom event called descending. So this is just the logic. I think there's 6 different logics. So 6 different logics on 6 different timelines. I can actually create just one timeline to do this, but I think it's gonna look very messy doing that. So it's easier for me to separate the timelines like this. So what I did was create a timeline where I control the location of the what was it called? Yeah, the holder, the hand holder here. This guy, to make it go down to the position of where it is currently at. It's a bit confusing on how do I decide why either it's the x-axis or the y-axis, but somehow I managed to figure it out. Took me 3 days to actually develop this, going back and forth. So once descending is done, it's gonna call the next function, which is grabbing here. So it's also a custom event. So grabbing is when the claw starts to rotate to try to grab the object. And then once that's done, it's gonna call another custom event, which is called ascending. So it goes back up, and then it's gonna position itself to where the drop position is located. So for the drop price logic here, it's quite straightforward. It's just almost a reverse of how the grabbing function works for the claw. And then it's gonna call release claw. Oh, I might have mistaken there. So yeah, drop price logic is where I move it into position. Ascending logic is just going back up, moving into position, releasing the claw right here, and lastly returning it back to the origin. So if you notice during one of my custom events here in the timeline, once the timeline is finished, I actually call this reset function a custom event as well. So to set new time equals to 0. This is something new I learned as well, which is very interesting to me, because I didn't know that once the timeline has reaches its end, it's gonna stay there. So for example, release claw timeline is actually for 1.5 seconds. So it ends at 1.5 seconds. So when I start calling it back, it's gonna start playing at 1.5 seconds, which is, it was bothering me. It's not working properly. I did not know that we have to reset back the time here. So each of this logic has a reset function that calls back the set new time. So that's the second new thing that I learned while creating this project. So in the end, once we return to origin, so there's nothing much going on here. It's just resetting back the values again. Oh, also, if you realize this grab button here, which is let's see here, this guy, yeah. So this guy actually changes color once the timer goes back down to 0. So I set it back to the original color, and as well as the text here, which is once you play, you can see the text here. See? So once I click play, it changes to red, it says go. So let's try it one more time. See how the joystick is moving as well? I find that quite interesting. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got one. Oh, we got two actually. That's good. Haha, nice. Yeah, there's no collider around here anywhere, so the ball is just gonna keep on rolling into oblivion. So this was quite a fun project for me to work on. It's just out of nowhere, but since I was learning about physics constraints, so it got me thinking like, what else can I do with it? So there you go. We have a claw machine now. It's working. It's annoying as how the real claw machine is, and I'm also planning to upload it to itch.io if anyone is interested to try, and yeah, and also on Sketchfab where I upload the model itself. And that's it. Thank you for watching.